Welcome to the Sounds Divine podcast. Now, today we're going to talk about a very sensitive topic to most people, all because of how you were programmed or raised. And I don't mean programmed in a robotic sense or in a robotic context, but basically how you were taught, what kind of belief systems were instilled in you, and what kind of belief systems that you had all along about yourself. When I was a young boy, though I suffered from a speech deformity, the only thing I even cared about when I was a boy was to go out and play. That was it. I remember my mom wanted to make sure that I must stay indoors. There were times where I was sheltered. And there was a time where my social life was kind of impacted because I couldn't talk, and I used to get into a lot of trouble because of that, because back then a lot of people never understood me. So it got to a point whereby I remember this one incident where we stole the peaches in the neighborhood, and I was caught by the house owner because I couldn't explain myself. I had an ass whipping of my life just because I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk my way out of that situation, right? And then as I was growing up, my mom used to be strict, especially with me, because I was like the whole coconut. Hey, I was labeled as a coconut because of I could finally, when I finally managed to talk, I managed to speak English, but it was very hard for me to speak English during that time because I was even struggling to put constructive sentences together. But the fact that it came out with an accent, because I had this white accent. I don't know why, but anyways, I was labeled as a coconut. Now, me on the other hand, I've wanted to differentiate myself as the Kasi kid who knew how to speak English, because I wanted to prove a point. And the point was, I wasn't going to let language define who I am. But I was going to let my struggles, I was going to let the fights, I was going to let even the things that I've currently gone through, even my adult life, and put them in the book and just say, guys, this is it. Read my book. But you see, when you are like me, right, coming from a family whereby we were entrepreneurial in terms of the hustle. Because I remember when we had a spaza shop at home. For some of you, you don't know what spaza shop is. It was a tuck shop, a mini tuck shop where we used to sell your ordinary day-to-day necessities, right? But because I came from that environment and into an environment where it is still like that, but you have a mother or you had parents who had to shelter you all their lives. It was kind of crazy, man. It was crazy. And the funny thing is, with me, I've wanted to become an entrepreneur based on that environment because I was exposed to that environment. But I didn't know what I normally know now. I didn't know the conventional knowledge that was there before until now, right? It was crazy because I remember now when like 2 or 3 years ago, I had this conversation with a lady called Nobantu Mudise. We met in Bramley, Johannesburg, and she was basically saying to me, dude, you could have gone far in life. Like with the way you with your credentials, you could have gone far. You could have gone to a point where you're the one that's driving the Range Rover, the Bentleys. And when she said that, right? And when she said that, I sat down for the first time ever. And I started analyzing myself, depicting what she was saying, and coming to terms with the fact that, damn, hold on. So all these years, here I was pleasing everybody, doing what everybody tells me to do. Whereas there's someone who sees the potential and keeps on telling you, you could have gone far. Now that really hurt me, and I remember I had to go through, when my mom passed away, I had to go through, a dark place in my life where I shut down everything. I was pretty much alone, right? And I felt so alone because I didn't trust my siblings. Being the youngest. So, with that being said, it kind of makes you, or it kind of made me become more paranoid. Right? I remember the time where I was in Flavius Mareka and I failed because I was studying business management at the time, and I failed one subject. I felt so suicidal that I drank a lot of headache pills because I was trying to kill myself. I was pretty much frustrated with everything else that was happening in my life because I got tired of people making decisions about my life without my consent. I was pretty much tired of people saying they're sheltering me, whereas I never got the time of day to come to a decision and make decisions for myself. Though people would say, right, that I was incompetent of making decisions. But here's the thing about life. Life will teach you that until you become better at something, failing to make good decisions is far better than wanting to make good decisions all the time. Because failing to make good decisions means that you don't need, you are trying to make it on your own, right? It's like, think about it this way. You are like a mouse. You're like a mouse that's trapped in the mouse trap, right? And you're trying to break free, right? But what you don't realize is what that experience alone teaches you is you shouldn't have even bothered to go towards that trap in the first place. Had you practiced your own intuition, which is something, funny enough, that was the only thing that should have happened with me. I should have listened to my own intuition. Because back then, I didn't know how to tap into my own intuition. And so the whole point of this episode is to basically say to you, you need to live your life. Your parents do not know who you are. They don't know what your purpose is. They don't know what your calling is. They don't know what you're destined to do. But your parents are here because they are being taught by God to take care of you. That's their job. So, I don't understand when people say to me, no, but Tamba, you don't know how it feels like to go through struggles. But I'm like, okay, sure, I might not understand your struggle. But don't ever say, I don't understand the struggle. Because struggle doesn't choose, right? You go through it. In this case, Corona doesn't choose whether you are, Prince Harris or Idris Elba, right? It just hits you. The same goes with life. The same goes with challenges. But what's important is you need to live your life. And part of living your life is live your own truth. Because let's face it, your parents don't know your truth. They don't know your truth. Really. If they did, they would have known everything about you. From the minute you were born, they would have known on the spot who you are. They would have known your purpose. They would have known everything. But because, here's the thing, birth, God is a creative genius for this. When you give him birth, or when you're about to be pregnant as a woman, here's the thing, it becomes a mystery. You suddenly don't know this person that's growing inside you. But you know that this person is growing inside you. But you don't know this person. And then you wonder yourself as to, why are you eating for two people? Right? Exactly. That's because inside that woman, there's you. She might not know who you are. She might not know your truth. But guess who knows your truth? God knows your truth. And where is he? Inside you. So what I'm saying to you is, live your own truth. Even when you market your business, even when you start out, one thing I've learned though is, start a business that stands for your truth. Don't start a business based on hearsay. Thank you. And enjoy the Sound Divine podcast.